Hi, Bernd here. Today's video is all about alternate picking. I will show you my technique and how it allows me to play eighth note triplets up to 300 beats per minute. That's 15 notes per second. Let's check it out. Alternate picking is a much requested topic and all of my students struggle with it at a certain point. It is the fundamental technique for fast and clean playing, and there are so many different approaches and styles to master it. Everybody knows the main frustrations. You can't synchronize your hands correctly, one hand is much faster than the other and it ends up sounding very messy. You can't master the transition from one string to the next without getting stuck with your pick or creating unwanted noise. You can play perfectly at some tempos, but others feel very awkward when you practice to a click. And that's only some of them. It took me many years to find the technique that works for me, and anyone can learn it easily. There are a couple of very important tricks that will help you to pick this fast and clean. But first, let me show you a demonstration. This video is not about phrasing, creative playing or writing interesting solos, just a pure demonstration and explanation of the technique. I have plenty of videos that focus on these topics. Please check them out if you're more interested in that. I like the sound of the tempos around 230 to 260 BPM most, but as you see, you can also take it to the extreme. I did not use a fret wrap or any gadgets for this video, so the transition from string to string also works at these fast tempos. When I talk about alternate picking, I mostly care about a clean technique. That comes way before speed and BPM numbers for me. If you want to learn this technique step by step, please visit www.bernd.at and check out my 10 Steps to Modern Shredding program. I put over 1 year into this 10-week course, and everything you should know to consider yourself a modern shred player is in there. From sweep picking, tapping, slapping, finger picking to music theory, chord substitution and tensions. To get started, I will show you an exercise that has helped me a lot over the years. First of all, I prefer small picks, the popular Jazz Free or Jazz Free Jumbo size. I got my own signature picks from Intium. I also dedicated a video to that, so check it out if you want to learn more. It's much easier for most players to play fast with their right hand, since a lot of rock and metal songs require tremolo picking. As soon as you find your picking angle, it is not that hard to build up speed. My first tip is to always pay close attention to the amount of notes you produce by playing like that. When you use a lot of distortion, you sometimes can't really hear it clearly, and I've seen a lot of players that just play as fast as they can in situations like that. And it won't get you very far as soon as you have to synchronize each stroke with the fingers of your left hand. A good way to learn to control your picking motion is to work with two different rhythmic groups, 8th notes and 16th notes, for example. For this exercise, I play one measure of each group. If you don't land on a downstroke, when you switch back to the 8th notes, you missed a note or played too many of them. So that's a great way of controlling your picking motion. You also only play one measure of fast picking before your hand gets to relax a bit. That works wonders for developing speed. Focus on the sound and articulation of the 8th notes and 16th notes. They should have the same volume. It won't sound nice and fluid if you need to use much more force for the faster notes. Always practice this to a metronome. Playing it without a rhythmic context makes no sense at all. Another tip is to accent the notes that land on the beat. That will help you with your orientation as soon as you get to the very fast tempos. Practice this for a couple of weeks and write down your top tempos and results every day, or at least every time you work on this exercise. You don't have to do it for hours. It works when you do it every time you practice for 15 minutes and really focus on playing as tight as you can. Remember that developing a clean technique is the most important aspect here, so spend enough time on the slower tempos. It will help you a lot as soon as you speed it up. Once you notice some improvement in your picking speed, we need to work on the left hand as well. I will show you one more exercise for hand synchronization in this video. This is the one that helped me the most. I always started with short bursts of speed picking to get a feeling for every tempo. It never really worked for me to just play a long phrase very slow and turn the metronome to a higher and higher tempo. My hands would stop synchronizing in the middle of the phrase, or it would just get too exhausting for my right or left hand at one point. By working with a short phrase in the beginning, you can focus on the amount of notes you play better, and you will build your technique very quickly. For this example, I play 3 variations of this simple phrase. The goal is to land on a downstroke on the last accent. That is how you control the amount of notes you have to play. You also want to accent the notes that land on the beat to stay in time again. With these 2 exercises, you will be able to gain speed with your right hand and also work on your hand synchronization skills. Include them in your practice routine and start slow, but also don't be afraid to try higher tempos that you can't quite master yet. Sometimes you need to feel the motion in these tempos to understand how to develop your technique to actually get there. That's sadly all we have time for in this video, and there's much more you should work on if you want to master alternate picking. If you want to learn all my tricks concerning fast alternate picking and the very important string switching technique, check out my 10-week online course 10 Steps to Modern Shredding. I left the link in the description. If you have any questions about it, I'm always available for you right at contact@bernd.at, so don't be afraid to ask. Thanks a lot for checking out this video, it really means a lot to me. Just leave a comment if you have any more questions about it. See you in the next one and have fun practicing. Thank you.